How's it going, folks? So, with all the discussions on child grooming and giving kids hormone replacement therapy, um, the activist community has decided to go after Matt Walsh over a specific clip he had made. Now, in this clip, if you actually listen to the clip itself, it's actually not as unreasonable as you would think, but what I'm going to address in this portion here is the age of consent laws and the vast difference, basically, between, say, mistakenly sleeping with a 17-year-old who you might or might not have thought was 18 versus this hormone replacement therapy for minors or sleeping with somebody who's prepubescent. Because I can't believe I have to actually say this, but there is a massive difference between the two. You know, yeah, if the age of consent in your particular state or country is 18, you've technically violated the law. And quite frankly, if you're up there in years, say, you're in your late 20s or beyond, it's not the best idea to go looking around places where there are people who are at that border and start trying to pick up there. Because, yes, it is quite possible that you end up picking somebody up who's not quite 18 yet, but looks enough like they're 18 to where you don't think about whether or not they're 18 or not, and you don't ask. Or it could be the case that they're 17 and they lie to you. There are people that will do that. Because guess what? They want to have sex too. However, we have age of consent laws for a reason. And with that being said, there's a vast difference between, say, a 21-year-old sleeping with a 17-year-old than there is, say, a 25-year-old sleeping with an 11-year-old. I can't believe I have to actually say this. See, the 11-year-old hasn't gone through puberty yet. They haven't developed yet. You can tell they haven't gone through puberty yet. And yet you have activists in the LGBTQ plus community who act as if that's the same thing. Furthermore, they'll say because, maybe somebody on the right said, okay, in Matt Walsh's case, Asia Argentino sleeping with that 17-year-old, it is forgivable because, yeah, it's a mistake, but it is a lot more forgivable than, say, giving a double mastectomy to a 14-year-old. They'll act as if people like Matt Walsh are just as despicable and as grotesque as they are. And it's just simply not the case. There is a massive difference between somebody who is right on that border of 18, sleeping with them, versus, doing so with somebody under the age of 13. This is ridiculous. I didn't even have to bring this up or I have to talk about this. It's ridiculous that we would have to say this. But here's where we're at with these feral leftists. And I understand that there are going to be one or two people on the left that say, well, I'm not like that. And okay, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about the people on the left that are actually doing this crap right here. Or there are people who are saying, but yeah, he's still, it's still not the age of consent. And okay, it's still not the age of consent, but laws have to be rigid, straightforward, so everyone understands them. When it comes to ethics and morals, you have varying degrees. You have a spectrum of good to bad. I mean, it's not just one straight line all the time. There's a spectrum. Some things are bad, but they're not as bad as other things. Some things are good, and they're not as good as other things. And I can't believe that has to be explained either. But it is far worse to put a prepubescent child on hormone replacement therapy. It's far worse to sexualize a prepubescent child. It's far worse to start carving up on a prepubescent child, or even in many cases a post-pubescent child, than it is, say, somebody, taking a 17-year-old to bed. Because at least sleeping with them once in most cases, I mean, if it's consensual, even though illegal, the damages aren't permanent. Whereas you start doing stuff like a double mastectomy or the bottom surgery or hormone replacement therapy, all of that is a lot more permanent. Anyway, everyone, you guys have got the comment section below as usual. Chime in, let me know what you think, and thank you all for watching. Y'all take her easy out there and have a great day.